People are pressuring the Olympic Committee to help shut down China's Uyghur camps.
Here's a summary of the article.
The Kashgaris are Uyghur Muslims indigenous to Xinjiang. Though Kashgari and her immediate family live in the U.S. since 2014, China has been forcing portions of its Uyghur Muslim population into internment camps, in addition to subjecting those outside to mass surveillance and heavy policing. A calling on China to close the camps ahead of the 2022 Winter Olympics in Beijing. The group has two demands. The first is that China shut down the camps. The second asks China to respect Uyghur rights outside of the camps too. Plans to call on the International Olympic Committee to relocate the Olympics to a country that is not engaging in the mass detention of religious and ethnic minorities. Despite overwhelming evidence of mass detention and continued human rights abuses towards the Uyghur population, the Chinese government initially denied the existence of the internment camps outright, only later acknowledging them as vocational education and training centers. The government has insisted that the Uyghur Muslims in the region enjoy equal freedoms and rights. In early December, following the passage of a U.S. bill calling on China to end arbitrary detention, torture, and harassment of these communities inside and outside China, the Chinese government reiterated that the camps were educational centers and denied any wrongdoing.
This post received a score of 44,846, with an upvote ratio of 93%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
One of the most corrupt sports organizations ever is not going to do anything that will upset the money that goes into their own pockets.
Honest question, why are they and also FIFA so corrupt?
There is so much potential for construction projects, financing, and advertising related to those events. Couple that with authoritarian regimes who always need a bread and circus distraction from their poor governance, and you've got a multinational tidal pool of lobbyists, oligarchs, and unmitigated bribery. Most of the sports arenas and related building end up getting financed by taxpayers for the benefit of builders, and then sit defunct or not as well used after the events are over. If they get voted out, they always land on their feet, like Sad Eyes Granny Starver Paul Ryan at Fox News.
So glad Boston shot that down. Not only is it a net negative to host the Olympics, Boston's density and housing crisis coupled with transit issues of all kinds would have made it a nightmare for all but the developers and those they bribe.
During the Olympics, yeah. If done correctly, and that's a big if, the developments created for the Olympics will continue to help the city, such as the conversion of athlete housing into housing for locals. I'm mostly familiar with Atlanta, but several current structures in and around Atlanta, including university housing for Georgia Tech and Georgia State, were built for the 1996 Olympics and converted later.
Atlanta handled it well, but it's a different situation than Boston. ATL is huge, so they had more options for site locations. Even done as well as possible, I think it would still have been a certain degree of nightmare for the city.
That's true, it's certainly a radically different equation for every city. You can be sure the Olympic Committee will only do the wrong thing.
Maybe we need to try reverse psychology on the IOC? Hey IOC, please accept millions in dollars of bribes from PRC. Please make sure you don't ask any questions about what happened to the Uyghurs.
100% agree, except the part about the PRC. It's actually the CCP that puts people in concentration camps, harvests organs, tears down churches, hates freedom of any kind, is the world's #1 polluter and steals every bit of IP and technology they can. Amongst a longer list of criminal behavior. All under the dictator for life, Zeitler. Edit, my point was that negative feelings should be directed at the party making the decisions in China. Not China as a whole. The people of China are victims of the CCP, CPC, whatever, and should be pitied. Not hated. Hope that clears things up.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.